You know, sometimes we spend so much covering America's history of racial injustice, we forget where it all began. Europe, the OG of racism. Yeah, if America is Jackie's, Europe is the real king of R&B. White people, ask your black friend what that joke means. They'll explain it to you. And right now in Europe, when they're not flipping cars over and setting them on fire, they're having a major debate about what to do with all the art that they borrowed permanently by force from Africa. And according to the president of France, it should all be returned.
President Emmanuel Macron argues it's unacceptable that around 90% of Africa's artistic heritage is outside Africa and says French law should be changed to make restitution possible.
Speaking in Burkina Faso, he said it was wrong for only Europeans and Americans to have access to African art. In 5 years, he wanted to start the process of temporary or definitive restitution.
Du patrimoine africain en Afrique.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I think that's pretty amazing, and it's very nice of the French president. Although it is going to be weird when Africa gets all the sculptures back and the Africans are like, wait a second, why do these sculptures smell like cigarettes and threesomes, huh? What's going on here? Although, honestly, I do think if after profiting off of all of this art for all these years, they're just going to give it back, I don't think that's enough. I think France should give the art back with interest. Yeah, they should. I think Africa should choose some European art. They should be like, okay, thank you for giving us our art back. We will also take that creepy white lady and the guy with the tiny penis, eh? But it's kudos to Macron. He's doing something. And unfortunately, not everyone in Europe is as remorseful as Macron. In fact, some Europeans in the art world believe that they did Africa a favor by stealing our shit.
They became works of art in museums because Europeans said it's art, you know? It's not from Africa. It was not art. It was meant to disappear.
It was meant to disappear? It was meant to disappear? That is some next level shade. This asshole is saying that when Africans made stuff like this, they didn't know that they were making art. So if this wasn't art, what did Africans think they were making? The world's most uncomfortable butt plug? What were they making? And here's another thing. Whether it was art or a table or a piece of trash, it still belongs to Africa. I mean, Europe wouldn't stand for it if the situation was reversed. Africa couldn't get away with taking anything from Europe, even if it was something they didn't want, like Greece. I mean, yeah, sure, it doesn't work and it smells like feta cheese, but it still belongs in Europe and they would want it back. Oh, and then you have the Europeans who say they wish they could return the art to Africa. They really do. But they just don't think Africa's ready for that kind of responsibility.
Western museums have often resisted repatriating art, arguing that they can take better care of it.
Returning the objects is possibly a good point. Entering into dialogue is the best thing that we can do. But who are we going to return the objects to?
It's one of these things that looks like morally on its face. Give it back to who it belongs. Well, who does it belong to? And it hasn't been in that country for over 100 years. And, you know, look, France built the whole Musée Quai Branly to respect these objects, to preserve them, to show them.
Yeah, how are the Africans going to... You know, this is some sneaky-ass logic if you think about it. Because their argument is basically, you Africans cannot protect your art. We know that because we stole it from you, huh? We took it all.